Right then, boys and girls, usual drill. Let's have a look at what I'm on today, courtesy of Into Moto in Warrington. Look at this weird and wonderful beast. What the hell is it? Well, you should know if you've looked at my thumbnail. Now, I've never seen one of these before. I've got to admit, it's a bit different, but I like it. This is the Honda NSA700. It has a 680cc engine. Now, when you look at it, size-wise, it's kind of like a mini Goldwing. It doesn't feel quite as big, but it is still quite a big beast, this. It's quite low down, which is perfect if you are on the shorter side. I'm 5'8", and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So you can see here with me, bending the knee, not stretching in the slightest. Really low seat would really suit somebody who is shorter. However, if you're taller, don't let that put you off, because you've got your foot plates here. You can have your feet there, you can have them there, you can stretch them out. So the longer legged people, the giants out there, I wouldn't worry, this will suit you as well. It's just because the seat's nice and low, it suits a lot of different people. Let's have a look around the usual way. I will show you this from all angles and you tell me what you think about it. I think it's very different, very different. Not in a bad way, just very different. Comment below. Tell me what you think about the looks of it, because it's one of those second glance things. When you see it, you go, what the hell is that? So let's have a look. It doesn't look too bad from the side, I don't think, but let's just move round to the front, and it's got this kind of shark looking face on it. And an absolutely monstrously big windshield. Now that's brilliant when you're doing those motorway miles, because it does keep the air off you, and it is just unbelievably smooth. Low speed and high speed has to be one of the most comfortable bikes I've ever ridden. So make sure you stay for the test ride so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now you can see there as well, it's a shaft drive, no chain maintenance to worry about. We've got a single disc brake at the back. We've got your twin disc Nissens at the front. The brakes, considering the bike is so heavy, the brakes work exceptionally well. Quite possibly the most comfortable seat I've ever sat on. It's certainly going to be in my top couple. I would say between this and the Goldwing, it's very close, you know, because that is like sitting on a cushion of air. It's brilliant. Again, I go on about it when we do the test ride shortly. I will rave about it because it's awesome. Now the back seat is a whopper as well, considering I've been on some that I can barely put a hand on, and you can see there I've got my hand. I could probably get 2.5, well, probably 3. Yeah, it's a big seat anyway, and for any pillions you've got a decent sized grab handle as well. So not only is the seat unbelievably comfortable, pillion seat as well, but they've got something to grab onto. Sound wise on this, it's just very refined. It's not something that you'll start raving about how nice it sounds, and I don't think I've ever seen another one on the road. You haven't got the flash TFT screen, but you've got an old style digital screen. The speedo's nice and clear. You'll see on the test ride, everything on there is nice and visible. Your view from the seat is quite, I won't say limited, but you can see when you're riding, it is a very big windshield. But it does its job. It does what it's supposed to. Buttons wise, now, because this is a DCT, you have got a few extra buttons. Even though it's an older bike, you have got your horn, you've got your indicators, you've got your high-low beam, you've got your flash. So they're the industry standard for the left-hand side. DCT, so on the right-hand side, You've just got your engine start, your engine cut off, those two industry standard, but then you've got your drive and your neutral as well. So this is just a rev and go. It's like a massive scooter. Your back brake is where it should be, right where your right foot can press it. Mirrors, very Goldwing again, they're quite far away from you, so make sure you set those before you leave. But they're like car mirrors, they're quite big, but as far as safety goes, they're brilliant. You can see everything behind you. I am absolutely boiling today. It is an absolute roaster. Not complaining. I've pulled on the Oxford hoodie thinking, oh, I'll put my summer gear on, but it's a warm day today, so brilliant for riding when you're riding, but when you stop, very warm, very warm. So I'm going to get some more riding done. Make sure you join me for the test ride. I'll show you exactly how this performs on the road, and it's a nice one. So let's go for a ride. Now I love a strange bike. I do. I really do. I ride a Yamaha Nikon. That is my big bike, my touring bike, the bike I tend to do all my long journeys on. And even I am looking at this thinking, this is different. And it really, really, really is different. Now, from a riding point of view, you've seen on the walk round how different it is. But actual riding position is surprisingly comfortable. It is very cruiser-like in your riding position. The bars are kind of coming over towards you, so you're not stretching for them. Your back is nice and straight, your feet forward in that cruiser position. And it's a very low seat, so it does suit people who are that little bit shorter. Generally, Honda's DCT is phenomenal. It is just like riding a scooter. Easy riding, isn't it? It is just a twist and go job, and that is exactly what this is doing. Now, I'll have to open it up a little bit and see how it goes through the gears, but generally it seems to be really smooth. I like the fact that you can go out on something like this and you know that nobody else is going to have one. You know it's going to be completely different to what everybody else has got, because I don't think I've ever seen one of these ever until I walked in that showroom today. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I've already said what I like strange, I like different, and that's what I ride. I ride bikes that are different because I don't want to turn up at the car park and go, oh look, you've got the same bike as me, oh so have you, so have you, so have you. Yes, I know that means generally that you've got a good bike because everybody's got one, but there are lots of good bikes out there that ride really nicely, and for me, you don't have to get what everybody else has got. You can be a shorter rider and have something like this, and it is quite a monster of a bike, this. I know it's only got, well, 680 cc's, but actual physical presence, it does feel like the size of something like a Goldwing. It does feel like a very big bike. It's going through the gears really, really nicely. It just feels really smooth, and the seat itself is very couch-like. It's a nice wide plush seat, it's comfortable, and this again, it's one of those bikes for me that you could sit on and just spend all day riding. It would be ideal to cruise the world on something like this, because it would be just unbelievably comfortable. I mean, I've said it before, I think the Goldwing by Honda is probably the most comfortable bike I've ever ridden, and my Nikon is a close second to that. Whereas already after a short time on this bike, I would say this is kind of in between mine and the Goldwing. It's just unbelievably comfortable. A Goldwing is £20,000. The Nikon, I think, is about £16,000. I know there's always offers happening and you can get them a little bit cheaper here and there. Yes, you can, but this bike is currently up for sale at £1 less than £6,000. Now, I know it's not cheap. If you haven't got £6,000, it's not cheap, obviously. You're not having to change gear in traffic. You're not having to go up and down the gears when you are milling about town. You are literally just riding this like you would ride a scooter. I am pleasantly surprised with how good this bike feels to ride. Have a look. Yeah, so the power delivery is nice and smooth. It isn't a rocket ship by any stretch. Now, I found the Goldwing to be a bit of a rocket ship in sports mode, but you've got to bear in mind this is less than half the size of that engine wise. If you're looking to buy something like this, if you're looking for a big cruiser or a big machine to tour on, you're not looking for something that's going to be beating sports bikes, are you? You're looking for something that's going to be comfortable for all day riding, and this is certainly going to be comfortable for all day riding. It would have cost a lot of money brand new. It has only done 1,495 miles. Now, by the time I finish with it today, it's going to have a little bit more than that. But that is absolutely nothing. I mean, that is barely just gone past its first service as far as miles go. And whoever has had this bike has really looked after it, wrapped it in cotton wool and just ridden it very, very sparingly. And I don't know why. I'm a bit of a fan. I could ride this all day, every day. And for £6,000, in fact, £5,999, let's get it right. It goes round the bends, very similar to the Honda Goldwing for me. It's just unbelievably comfortable. It doesn't feel like you're on the big heavy beast that you're on. It just glides around the corners. You kind of waft around. It just wafts around like, yeah, I'd consider it to be like you're in some kind of Rolls Royce or Bentley or something that's really plush like that, and you're going around the corners and you don't really feel a bump. That's kind of how this feels. I feel like I'm sat on a cushion of air. I'm going round corners and it's just very pleasant, just wafting around the corner. Now, it is strange, there is nothing here at all. There's nothing. Now, I know Hondas, they tend to have like handbrakes and stuff there now, don't they? Where this hasn't got any of that. It's just got nothing. You do have a foot brake for your rear brake, which is good because it's familiar. I like it. Why do I always like the weird ones? I've got strange taste in just about everything. Strange taste. Anyway, so let's just break this bike down very, very quickly. It's comfortable. It's got enough power that it delivers it nice and smooth. You'll get up to those motorway speeds comfortably. You can sit there all day in absolute comfort. It is less than £6,000, only just, which is considerably cheaper than any other Honda Goldwing I've seen out there, and it is kind of like that as far as size goes and presence. It's got the DCT, so it's nice and easy to ride. You don't have to keep changing up and down gears yourself. It does it all for you. Yeah, it's a very different looking bike, this, and if you're interested, it is available at Into Moto in Warrington, and I'll put a link in the description. For now, I'm going to have a little bit of a ride around on it, just to, in fact, no, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm on the car park, so let me just show you something. So because I'm not stretching by any stretch, it's a really low seat, this. So albeit it's a very heavy bike, you can see there I can move it around quite easily. In fact, if I wanted to, I could stand up and walk it, because it is such a low seat, and I like that. It's just easy to maneuver. For a heavy bike, it seems to hold its weight really low down. But anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head back to Into Moto with this bike. It'll be in the showroom. I don't know for how long, because it is different looking. And I think to have something like this, you've got to have tasting motorbikes like me. You've got to be looking for something that little bit different. But if you are, head over to Into Moto and have a look at it. But you certainly won't be disappointed with the comfort, the ride, the performance. It's just a lovely bike, this. So I'm going back there, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later, guys.